Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's James Copley and today we're going to be talking about Chris Rigg. As you are all aware, Chris Rigg has signed a new 5-year deal at Sunderland, keeping him at the Stadium of Light until 2030. Now, the Echo understands that Chris Rigg once again rejected serious interest from several top Premier League clubs and European sides this summer. There were some exploratory talks which took place between Chris Rigg's camp and other clubs, but no formal bids were submitted, and Chris Rigg rejected the interest from clubs both domestically and abroad. Now, why does he want to stay at Sunderland? One of the key reasons was the relationship he has now got with Sunderland supporters. Sources told me that he genuinely loves the club and feels loved back. Rigg now sees Sunderland as home, and he's been part of the Academy of Light since he was in primary school. So he's been here a long time, and that's definitely fostered a relationship. Rigg also played a key role in last season's promotion campaign, as we are all well aware. He featured 45 times, starring in the famous Wembley win as well. And he views Sunderland's journey to the Premier League from the Championship as unfinished business. Obviously, he was around the club when the club was in League One as well. He believes in the project under Régis, Bris, and he's not done at the Stadium of Light. And just to circle back to the fan point, Rigg's bond with Sunderland supporters has grown through several milestones. His FA Cup debut against Shrewsbury Town at 15 years old. He then played a couple of times against Fulham in the same competition. There was obviously that big reaction to his disallowed goal. Sunderland fans were hugely supportive of Chris Rigg breaking through at such a young age, and that has left a lasting impression. He also became Sunderland's youngest ever goal scorer against Crewe Alexandra in the Carabao Cup. He is still that competition's youngest ever goal scorer, and he became, during all of this, Sunderland's youngest outfield player ever and Sunderland's second youngest player ever, because there was a goalkeeper who was slightly younger, whose name escapes me. He obviously scored the back-heeled winner against Middlesbrough last season in the Championship at the Stadium of Light. That sparked a huge supporter reaction because it was in a local rivalry game, should we say. I'm not going to call it a derby because I don't think it is one. And there was also the 2 games against Coventry. Cast your minds back to the scenes before that home leg against Coventry at the Stadium of Light, with the bus coming in, the flares, the Dan Ballard last-second winner. All of that has helped create a huge bond. Chris Rigg celebrated in front of the Roker end that night, and a big bond has developed. There was the Wembley celebrations as well against Sheffield United in the Championship, and the Trafalgar Square scenes as well, where his Newcastle support and family actually joined in and were welcomed with open arms by Sunderland fans. All of this has made a lasting impression on Chris Rigg. And of course, Sunderland's hierarchy as well. Kristjaan, Speakman, Régis, Bris and Louis-Dreyfus. Now Florent Gasolfi too. All played major roles in keeping Chris Rigg at the club. Louis-Dreyfus sanctioned another lucrative financial package to keep him. Obviously, a 5-year deal is a big financial commitment. Chris Rigg will be now being paid more than he was previously. As always with these contract decisions, the money has to be right. The financial incentive has to be right. And Chris Rigg has been rewarded for his development. You know, this follows Louis-Dreyfus's decision in 2024 to break the bank on Rigg's first professional contract, which was the biggest ever offered by the club. Now, interestingly, Rigg probably now faces an uphill battle to get into Sunderland's team. He's going to compete for places in midfield with the likes of Granit Xhaka, Noah Siddiqui, Habib Diarra, Enzo Lefebvre, Dan Neil. There's also possibly a space for Chris Rigg on the right wing, where he will compete against Patrick Roberts, Chemsdine, Talby. But far from being deterred by this, sources have told me that Chris Rigg is relishing the challenge of competing with these multi-million-pound Premier League signings, and he's looking forward to testing his mettle in the best league in the world. Now, that is seen as an elite mentality by people at Sunderland, and exactly the type of attitude that Régis Bris wants within his group. So Chris Rigg's helping to drive standards as well. There has been talk amongst Sunderland fans of a move back to the Championship on loan. That has been dismissed by sources. Sunderland see his development as best served on Wearside. Could that change in the future if he wasn't getting enough games? Potentially. But I think Chris Rigg is going to be integrated into Premier League football, and I think he's going to get minutes this year. This 5-year deal signifies the club's youth-first policy is not changing, and it remains the same despite 150 million summer transfer spend. You know, Rigg's renewal follows Eliza Mayenda's long-term extension. These are very young players, and while Sunderland have recruited some more experienced players like Granit Xhaka, like Reinildo, they still have a focus on youth, and they have signed players like Noah Siddiqui, Chemsdine Talby, Simon Adingra, still relatively young, Robin Roofs as well. So there's a clear message from Sunderland here to Chris Rigg that they believe in their young talent still. The model, so to speak, has to be adjusted slightly. The squad composition has had to be adjusted slightly to deal with the stresses and strains of the Premier League. But Sunderland's main focus is still around developing youth. And I think Chris Rigg's decision to stay at Sunderland sends a powerful message. It's a massive vote of confidence in where the club is going, and it's a massive vote of confidence of Sunderland in Chris Rigg's talent as well. And I think it really says that Sunderland's top young talent believe that they are part of something special. I'm absolutely over the moon that Chris Rigg's staying at Sunderland. I think he can contribute to the team this season. Let me know your thoughts on everything I've just said. Are you happy with this? Where do you see his future? Is he a right winger? Is he a central midfielder? Should we be playing him further forward? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.